Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. Today we are diving into Recall, and I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, but I just haven't gotten to it. So in today's video we are going to go over some of the features. As usual, I will probably not be able to cover everything in one video, but if you have other things you want me to cover, comment them down below. In today's video, we are starting off with the pricing. So you have Recall Lite, Recall Plus, and Recall Business. So the Recall Lite plan, it calls itself your go-to read it later app. We will get more into that later. But with this, you get 10 free content summaries, chats, YouTube, podcasts, PDFs, articles, and more. Unlimited read it later storage, unlimited personal notes. With the Recall Plus, you get everything in Recall Lite plus a bunch of other stuff like automatic categorization, automatic knowledge graph, unlimited AI quizzes, multi-language support, augmented browsing, which we will get back to, and also the chat feature. This is $10 or $7 each month, depending on if you want to pay yearly or you want to pay monthly. So it is like, to be an AI application, I would consider this a little cheaper than many of the other ones. Many of the other AI applications are around like 10 to 12, depending on monthly or yearly billing. So this is a little bit cheaper. Now let's dive into the application. So let's actually start here. I have tested out the application before a while back. That was before the update, and I've also played around with it a little today. So on the left here you have the categories. So I have YouTube, I have productivity, news articles, and apps. I haven't made any of these myself. These are all made by the Recall AI. So you can see that it is the Andrew Huberman ADHD YouTube video. It is the deep dive with Ali Abdal video. It is the paperless movement video. These all pop up. I can also go ahead and click to remove the productivity stuff, to remove the app stuff. I can add the news articles here because I have one news article in here. So you can see how this works. When I click things, it either shows me those categories or remove them, and you can see that this is highlighted now. So this is basically the way the application works. I can add content from here either using URLs, and it supports a bunch of stuff. So docs, slides, TikTok videos, PDFs, websites, Apple, Spotify, podcasts, YouTube, and so much more. You can also add wiki sources for movies, people, places, and things, PDFs, and you can import bookmarks or even import from Pocket or Markdown. You can also start with an empty note like this. Let's go back to the home. And you have the chat. This is basically the ability to chat with your knowledge, just like every other application has these days. So you can ask it questions either about your knowledge base or specific things. So I can ask, what is this about? And it will go ahead and provide me with an answer. I won't spend too much time on this because this is a feature that every single productivity application has, but I think that it makes more sense in something like Recall, which I will get back to why later. You have the graph. This is your knowledge graph, and basically this just connects itself. So I saved this Huberman article right here, and you can see that there is a bunch of stuff appearing, a bunch of words appearing here with like the description of the word. So Adderall drug mixture used mainly to treat ADHD. You have things like default mode network, a lot of stuff I don't understand, but it is here. You have another example here. So 10 hottest new productivity apps, and it just surface a bunch of stuff. So virtual assistant is a software agent, like not perfect, but it does an okay job at connecting things for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. So this looks super interesting. Again, I haven't tested this enough to see how good it is, but I've heard that it is quite good, and it seems like, especially on articles that are more like more technical or more specific about topics and longer, or YouTube videos that are longer, this seems to be quite a nice thing. So it gets out a lot of words, and a lot of them are actually like relevant to the stuff this is talking about. So that is basically how the graph works. You have the review, which is basically flashcards. So the recall review helps you remember content you saved to recall. Again, a feature I really do love. And to start this, you have to navigate to a knowledge card, which you want to generate questions. Click the card menu button and select generate questions. I will just show you how that works as well. Let's do this one. You can go into the quiz. You can generate AI quiz here and put your memory to a test. I haven't watched this video, so quizzing me about it won't actually help. But this is also a thing I really do like. Here you can also see the links between different things. And I can actually click these to open these up as well. The application is a little slow, and I've double checked it isn't just my internet. The application is a little slow. Here you can see this is a 28-minute article about the nervous system, which I, again, won't get into. But this is basically based off of the Deep Dive podcast. I haven't done any of this myself. And you have a notebook here where you can add notes. You can see that there are a couple of things you can add here, and like you can format the text. So there are a couple of ways to do that, even add images. What I wanted to spend the rest of the video on is actually this, and we are going to jump into light mode, but this is the recall extension. So I can either have it here, so you can change it in your settings. So if you open up your settings, you can choose to choose to change a bunch of stuff. You can change the mode, you can change the default action, you can turn off and on the augmented browser and widget options. So the way the augmented browser works is that if I have something highlighted or something in my workspace about any of these things, it will actually highlight it. So I can actually see that I have saved it before. So let's say I have had this like highlighted in my workspace before, it would actually highlight this, so I could click it and see it. So if I had saved anything about this, it would reappear. It is basically just a way of introducing more serendipity and remind you of what you've read before. Here I can choose to have a concise summary, detailed summary, or open reader. And here you can see that it will highlight connections, but it hasn't found any connections. So let's say I wanted just to open this in Reader. It would open this up and I could see the Reader right here. So this is the reading mode. I know that this application calls itself an alternative to something like Pocket. I don't think it is as good as many of the other Read It Later applications. But that is just me personally, and that is like highly personal. It does the job, but I found that I like many of the other ones better. I'm currently using My Mind. Here you also have this reformat reader button to make it more readable. So I can click this and it will reformat it to make it more readable. I can also copy and I can also see connections or the links it creates. Let's say I just wanted to save this, so I could press save. Then if I open up my recall, it appears in here. You can see it here, you can see the connections, and you can see it in the graph as well with the two different connections. And I could go ahead and I could like continue to do this. So let me just find another one. Let's do this Notion setups. Let's open this up. Again, no connections found. Let's say I wanted a detailed summary. Could click this detailed summary, and you can actually chat with your content inside of here as well. And it gives me a detailed summary, and I can go ahead and I can add this to Notebook. Let's go ahead and close this, and it saves it as well. So you can see that it now says open. I can click this open button and it will open it up. And you can see that it also organizes it into productivity. Both of the articles I saved gets organized in here. So here I have the reader, I have the notebook where I have the concise summary, and I also have the detailed summary. I have the chat abilities. I can also see the chat because I asked the chat to create a detailed summary for me. I can quiz it, connections, and graph. And I think that is basically it for this video. I think I've covered most of the stuff. I think the application is super interesting, especially for the price. I think they do a lot of cool stuff. And many people might like something like this in your second brain. If I were to use something like this, I would probably have to add some manual labor because I'm trying to avoid everything being automated for me, but that's just me personally. I think that covers it for today's video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today's video.